Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2023 or Pokemon Horizons The Series anime episode review. This time I am talking about episode 43, so let's get to it. In this episode, the Rising Boat Tacklers head into town to do some shopping. Orla and Mollie tag along this time. You know, now that there is no beach. Sniffle. They both buy everything they need with some help from Liko. Friede and Roy, however, do not do their shopping. Instead, they line up to buy Wiglett Mangu, which is rumored to be delicious, and they only sell 30 boxes a day, making it a limited time delight. However, sensing Mollie's anger at the fact that they are ditching their duties, Friede and Roy run off in a hurry to buy what was requested of them, with Mollie and Liko respectively tagging along with them to make sure they do what they're supposed to and that they don't waste money. After Roy gets his shopping done with help from Liko, the two of them run into an old man who threw his back. Seems familiar. They proceeded to help the old man who was on his way back after making some deliveries. Soon a man comes running to the old man's aid, revealing that they work together at the same shop where the old man is the manager, and coincidentally the shop they work at is the one that sells the Wiglett Mangu. To thank Liko and Roy, the old man gives them one box of manju. Roy is apprehensive at first since they only sell 30 per day, but the old man assures him that the one he gave them is a spare they keep just in case. So they happily accept the gift. Meanwhile, Sango and Onyx, who I will refer to going forward as Coral and Sidian respectively, since these are their names in English, soon arrive at the same town. Coral says that she's here for something important, so Sidian leaves her to her own devices after telling her to make sure not to stand out, which she does by equipping a disguise via some cool bit of tech. I love that she wears the Terrasto cap that was distributed in Scarlet and Violet a while back. It turns out that the important thing she is here for is the Wiglett Mangu, which she lines up for. She counts the people in line and she concludes that she is the 30th customer, meaning she will just barely be able to get a box. Sadly for her, she failed to account for the fact that the cutie fly in front of her does not belong to anyone in line. Instead, it's here on its own to pick up a box on someone, presumably its trainer's behalf. So by the time Coral gets to the front of the line, all 30 boxes have been sold. She refuses to leave without one though, so she adamantly demands to have the spare she knows places like this keep. But unfortunately for her, said spare was given to Liko and Roy, so she's completely out of luck. Coincidentally, Liko and Roy walk past her loudly boasting how lucky they are to get a free box of Wiglett Mangu. This triggers Coral, who, somehow off-screen, attaches a letter of challenge to Fuecoco's back, which Roy soon notices. The letter says that Liko and Roy stole something, and they must return it. They are told to meet up at the fittingly named Snorlax Stone. When they arrive, they find Coral, who demands to have the manju, declaring that Liko and Roy stole them. But Roy refuses, denying the accusation by saying that they got them as a gift. Hoping to resolve things peacefully, Liko opens the box to give Coral a manju. This, however, backfires, since she is angered by the fact that Liko opened the box of a limited time item, revealing that she's one of those collectors that likes keeping things in their original packaging. In her fury, Coral removes her disguise, revealing her identity in the process, and she sends out Glalie, insistent on teaching Liko and Roy a lesson. While Liko wants to call Friede to ask for backup, Roy says that there is no need. He will take Coral on since he and Fuecoco have the type advantage. However, things soon take a turn for the worse when Sidian and his Garganacl show up. While Coral is not too happy about this since Mr. No Fun is here, Sidian is more than eager to battle Liko and Roy. Lucky for Coral, he believes that they are the important thing she came into town for. So, Coral chooses to face Roy, while Sidian decides to deal with Liko. Convenient for Liko and Roy, since they have the type advantage in these matchups. Both battles begin simultaneously but separately side by side, so I would say this is technically not a double battle. Garganacl easily tanks a not very effective hit from Quick Attack and even a super effective hit from Magical Leaf. It then attacks relentlessly with Salt Cure, forcing Sprigatito to play Dodge Dodge Revolution. Eventually she's cornered, but she cleverly uses Quick Attack to slide under Garganacl, which allows her to get a clean hit with Magical Leaf that does nothing other than serve as cover for Garganacl to grab her. At which point it delivers a close-range Salt Cure that hurts Sprigatito badly. She refuses to give up though, and Overgrow soon triggers, confirming her ability. With the power boost, she manages to fire a Magical Leaf that cancels out a Stone Edge from Garganacl and hits it, though it continues to be unfazed. So having the type advantage did not really help Liko and Sprigatito. Meanwhile, Glalie easily avoids a flamethrower and it freezes Fuecoco and the field with Blizzard. Fuecoco soon manages to thaw himself out, though he cannot move around freely on ice. Glalie uses Ice Spinner, the first time it's used in the anime, to dance around the field, avoiding flamethrowers and continuously peppering Fuecoco with hits. In his frustration, Fuecoco stomps the ground, giving Roy the idea to use Stomping Tantrum, which shatters the ice, creating pillars that make Glalie trip. As a result, it rolls into Garganacl, briefly merging both battles. Just as Coral and Sidian are about to get serious, they are called into action since it's time for their operation to catch Rayquaza. While Coral is reluctant to leave since she is determined to destroy Liko and Roy, Sidian forces her to go by having his Aerodactyl pick her up. I love that hilariously she exclaims, "Put me down." Aerodactyl grants her a wish by just dropping her, at which point Glalie catches her and she angrily exclaims, "Why did you let me go?" Coral and Sidian fly into the horizon. Since they said something about catching Rayquaza, Liko calls Friede, who soon arrives. After being appraised of the situation and making sure that Liko and Roy are okay, he has them point towards where the explorers went. Recalling the strange tower he noticed in the previous episode, which is in the same direction, he decides to go investigate. The episode ends with Liko having a bad feeling about what's going on. I think that it's a bit silly that as serious as things got, it all started due to such an innocent reason. Sure, it's hilarious that something so trivial led to a big confrontation, but the levity of the situation was undermined by the inciting incident. Like, it just felt like there were no stakes. Nothing was on the line. which made the outcome of the battle feel inconsequential and meaningless. I honestly did not care who won or who lost. Obviously, I was rooting for Liko and Roy, but only because they are our protagonists, not because them winning would accomplish or get them something important. With that being said, it was of course still cool to see Liko and Roy face off against Coral and Sidian. I love battles, and Horizons definitely needs more of them. While this one was, like most of the previous ones in this series, nothing special in terms of animation, choreography, or intensity, it was still nonetheless fun to watch, and it once again perfectly illustrated how far Liko and Roy have come as trainers and how far they have yet to go. They are no longer completely helpless. I mean, for once, Friede, the pendant/Terapagos, nor Rayquaza had to come save them. But they were still unable to win, and they still ended up being bailed out by sheer luck. Clearly, they have a long way to go, but this slow progression is part of what makes it easy to feel invested in their journey. Beyond the battle, it was awesome that Coral and Sidian got more screen time. They are both great and fun characters, Coral especially, and their interactions with each other and with Liko and Roy never fail to be entertaining. I am glad that we are getting more of them soon, and hopefully they continue to get time to shine. Also, I just want to bring up the little side story in this episode that centers on Tinkatink. I did not include it in the summary section since it has nothing to do with the rest of the episode, and cutting to it breaks pacing. But I just simply have to mention it because it's so adorable that Tinkatink goes out of her way to get food for herself and for Quaxley when Dot is too busy to tend to them. Tinkatink is so precious, endearing, and cute that I just can't. And the way she and Quaxley care for each other just melts my heart. Definitely my favorite Pokemon duo in this series. So, overall, this episode was good. Yeah, the first half was whatever. Just slow, albeit hilarious setup for the second half, which was fun and entertaining, while also serving up some decent action and setting up the next episode, which will likely be very exciting. But that's the review and the video. Click on the links on screen now to see my reviews of the previous 3 episodes. I will see you over there. Thank you so very much for watching.